Welcome to the first ever episode of Subtitled, an anime podcast. This week we're covering The Dragon Dentist. Enjoy the show. Welcome, husbandos and waifus. Hope you're all having a great week. Just give you a little bit of background about myself. I really enjoy anime, and I am what you would call a weeaboo. No, I don't own a body pillow or anything like that, but some of my close friends do consider me a weeaboo, as that goes. But that's a-okay, because there's nothing wrong with liking anime. So, we're just going to dive right into talking about The Dragon Dentist, and a little background on the producer of The Dragon Dentist, Hideaki Anno. He is the one that worked on Evangelion, the Rebuild movies, as well as Blazing Transfer Student, and then it was directed by Kazuya Tsurumaki, and he also worked on Evangelion Rebuild movies, as well as FLCL, which is one of my favorite animes. So just kind of going off of this anime, it was recommended to me on Twitter, and I didn't really know anything going into it, and it's a very interesting anime. When we get into the second part of the episode, I'll discuss kind of like how I rated it and everything like that. So I'm kind of just going with the flow as far as the outline of this show. So this anime is really interesting in the fact of they are dentists, and they do protect the dragon. So it's set in the time period of World War II, and these dragons are essentially a big old city, and the dragon dentists live on the city, which is on top of the dragon, which is really kind of cool. And they're the dentist, and you have officers, so it's kind of like they have their own military that protects the dragon, and that's actually really interesting. So the dragons cry through their teeth, and when they cry, the stuff that comes out of them is just pure evil. It's just disgusting black, like evil, and that's where the dragon dentists come in. They take their jobs very seriously, and it's to protect the dragon. That's their job. Their job is to protect the dragon from cavities, and it's actually really cool because you have all these different little, they call them cavity mushi. So you have small ones, and then later in the show you have really big ones. So the show is actually just 2 episodes, each about 45 to 47 minutes apiece. And that's it. That's really all we get to see about this universe and this world. And it's kind of throws you back and forth from a World War II setting to modern day, which I kind of guess they did have jet planes during that time, but it was kind of interesting to see the fact that they had jets during that time, which I really didn't ever think about. And the interesting thing about the world is it just shows you this really vast world, but doesn't dive too deep into it. Honestly, it kind of just leaves it very standoffish and doesn't ever dive too deep into the actual story of the particular universe it's in. So the main character's name is going to be Nanako, and she is a new dentist, and her mission, just like all the other dragon dentists, is to protect the dragon. From their dragon dentists are the guardians of the country, and the country has a pact with the dragon to pretty much just take care of the dragon and make sure it's healthy and doesn't have any cavities. And obviously something has to happen to make it be interesting. One day there's a battle with a neighboring country, and obviously they have warships, and they're fighting the dragon, and clearly the country with the dragon's gonna win, because dragons versus warships, I mean, my money's definitely gonna be on the dragon. And this kid comes out of the dragon tooth, because that's what happens. The dragon rebirths people to become dragon dentists out of their teeth, which kind of sounds crazy, but the teeth are very powerful and symbolic. I guess the dragon's really powerful and symbolic as far as that goes. And Bell comes out of the teeth, and it is Nanako's job to raise him up and to help him become into a dragon dentist. So the interesting thing about Bell is he's from the other country. He's from the country that Nanako is in is fighting. And so everyone's kind of like, you're one of the other soldiers, so, what are you doing here? And he's like, I don't know. So they have to explain everything and kind of go from there. And yeah, the dragon's really powerful and magical because it can literally resurrect people. So it's actually kind of crazy. It's a supernatural phenomenon, as the legend says, as far as that kind of occurs before something crazy happens. The dragon will pick someone and resurrect them, or according to some of the story, multiple people. And so Nanako and Bell go on an adventure, and they kind of go through all these fierce battles and different stuff like that. I don't want to spoil everything for you about the show, but it's done pretty beautifully as far as that. The dragon dentists are very interesting in their jobs because they do act like dentists. They do clean the teeth and make sure the dragon's mouth is clean. And it's kind of funny, they brush its teeth and different things like that. One interesting thing about the dragon dentist is they know when they're going to die. They know when they're going to die and how they're going to die. And they see all that when they become... for some people, I think it's when they become a dragon dentist, and the others it's randomly in their life. It's not really well explained per se. So there's a lot of things they kind of just move aside on and don't really elaborate on. I will say that the dragon's tail is so long. It is incredibly long. It is if you're in America, it's essentially miles and miles and miles. I'd say 100 miles long. It is very long. The dragons just seem really, really interesting, and I really wish they would open up this universe and give us more of that. The dragons have an invisible wall that, protects them from everything. So you can't get in unless you have a dragon's tooth. And thanks to the dragon dentist, they never actually get, teeth very rarely fall to the earth. And when they do fall to the earth, they kind of just float there. They don't ever actually touch the ground. But it's said if someone touches them, it'll just shatter. It kind of just turns all black and shatters and dies, essentially, just like human teeth would. So this show quickly just moves from, this is a show about fantasy oral hygiene, to this is a war show, like just action, war, and then it kind of just sprinkles some dragon lore here and there. The dragon has like 4 to 6 arms, and it carries a big old pipe that it smokes, which is kind of cool. It's just really interesting to see the dragon smoking a big pipe. And so as you see the series go on, I'm talking like it's a super long series, but it's not. It's just 2 episodes. So you learn that the dragons have... I guess this is kind of a spoiler. So, spoilers. If you don't want to know this particular fact, the dragons have wisdom teeth. And the priests that protect and stay in the dragon palace they blindfold the wisdom tooth, so it can't see the dragon, and it acts as a barrier for the dragon to protect itself. And it doesn't cause pain when it falls out, kind of like, it doesn't. It's the only tooth that doesn't cause pain when it falls out, because all the other teeth, when they fall out, they hurt. And the dragon cries, and it becomes cavity mushy, and then they have to battle them. And so they have the really small ones that kind of look like little gumballs, and they have bigger ones that kind of look like spiders. And the bigger, stronger Mushi can actually teleport through the teeth, kind of like a black hole, which is actually really interesting. And it is pretty much, they were saying, if you can find the wisdom tooth of a dragon, the country can use the wisdom tooth to form a pact with the dragon. And so that's how this country had this dragon on its side. Pretty much the dragon then in turn has the dragon dentist, so that it is protected and taken care of, because, you know, if I'm a big old dragon, I can't brush my own teeth or pick my own teeth, sort of a thing. So at some points there are obviously the warring nations, and it's the humans versus the dragon. It's the fact that this country has a dragon and the other country doesn't have a dragon, and it clearly just is kind of one-sided. The country with the dragon is doing very well, and it is just they're kind of getting slaughtered. But that's all I'll give you for now. I want you to go watch it for yourself. It's available on Crunchyroll, and I do believe the dubbed version is on Funimation if you were to enjoy that. But I know they're both on Verve. So I'll be back after this short break. And we're back. So now I'm gonna go into giving everything a rating and telling you if I would recommend this anime to you or not. Story, 8 out of 10. Animation, 7 out of 10. Sound, 7 out of 10. Characters, 8 out of 10. Overall, 8 out of 10. And I know I didn't go super in depth with the characters or anything like that, but it is only about 2-hour movie, or 2 episodes, however you want to break it down or explain it, and I want y'all to be able to go in and enjoy it for yourself. So I would say, honestly, if you want something new and different, go watch it, but go in with the mindset of, we probably won't ever see any more of this universe, and nothing else will be explained about it, because honestly, at the end of it, I was left yearning for more. I really wanted more of the lore, I wanted more than just 2 episodes. I would even be happy with a mini-series of 10 to 12 episodes. I think they could have been able to wrap up everything pretty well from that. But thankfully, this is better than the original, which was an 8-minute long short, which was back from 2014. So I'm thankful that we got this. I haven't seen the 8-minute short, but from what I've heard, it's not very good. This is much better. So I would say, if you have time, check it out and let me know what you think. I'm at Aswaylock on Twitter, and keep sending me obscure anime you'd like me to review. And when I say obscure, I mean things that aren't going to be, quote, mainstream, you know, not your main big ones that are out right now, as well as any of the main big movies. Like, I'm not going to do Studio Ghibli or anything like that. I'm going to do really random anime that maybe not a lot of people have watched, or, you know, I'm sure someone somewhere has maybe watched it, but I'm going to try to find really weird animes that are good, bad, and ugly, all of it. I want to just be able to dive in and see what there is to see on the, I guess, the dark corners of this universe. You know, the animes that don't get shed light on, you know. So that's what I'm going to try to do with this. Thank you for listening. Tell your friends, subscribe, and let me know what you think. And remember, it's not cartoons, it's anime.